Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we're going to talk about going back because we've officially entered that phase of this. I am off my game. I expected the national government to hold on a wee bit longer than it did, and I expected us to at least get out of the country before a bunch of politicians started talking about going back. I guess I was wrong. You've had a couple senators now make statements in support of it. Most are kind of vague, stuff like American soldiers should stay and accept the risk, to stuff that's a little bit more specific, such as we need to maintain a minimal presence, a light footprint. The idea is to get that token security force that would have worked a month ago. But see that international poker game where everybody's cheating? Yeah. Other cards have been dealt. It has moved on to the next hand. That's no longer an option. That window is closed. Y'all need to read your briefings a little bit sooner. That won't work. The plan, as it was laid out, is to basically establish a forward operating base full of a bunch of special operations people. And they're going to run mitigation operations from there all over the country. Like many things, you can tell what will happen by what has happened. How did the opposition take the country so quickly? Because they started in April. They started in April, seeding areas with their people, beard shaved, blending in with the local population. Then, when the time was right, they emerged. That's why there wasn't a lot of marching. It's how they were able to do it so quickly. If a forward operating base is dropped in the middle of that country with no apparent backup because we want to establish a light footprint, the opposition will cede the area around that with its personnel. Imperceptibly, they will move their people in slowly. I mean, they won't do anything. They're just going to hang out and be around it. And then one day, those special guys, they're going to get a target they can't pass up. They're going to get a golden opportunity on the other side of the country. And they're going to load up in those helicopters and they're going to take off. And that's when the opposition will form up. And again, they're not going to do anything. Not right away. They're going to wait until those helicopters get a good distance away. And then they're going to overrun that base. That is what will happen if this is attempted like this. This is the worst idea in a long string of bad ideas over there. You've been dying for a Vietnam analogy. You're going to get one. Dien Bien Phu. This is a really, really bad idea. That token security force, that window is closed. The United States and its allies do not have effective control of the countryside. The opposition does. They will cede it, and they will overrun that base. If you want to go back, you got to go back. You're basically going to refight the entire war because the opposition has control of the country. You're going to have to refight the entire war, and then you can fall back and reduce troop levels and get to that token security force. I'm sure the troops will be home by Christmas. It's also worth noting that ideally that token security force wasn't American because of the history of our presence there. The United States has a bruised ego right now and is just desperately thrashing about, trying to come up with something, cling to something to make this less of a failure. It's the wrong move. If the U.S. goes back in, it will end the same way because we have learned nothing, as is very apparent. There is one priority right now, and that is the preservation of human life. Getting people out, getting the Americans out, getting the Allies out, getting any refugee that wants to go out. That should be the goal. That's what matters. Nothing else. the geopolitical concerns, the time for trying to stabilize, all of that stuff is over. You can't put the genie back in the bottle on this one. It's done. I would guess that the politicians will continue this kind of rhetoric. You need to be ready for it, and you need to be ready to oppose it. Because they will pull the human rights cards. They will pull the funding cards. They're going to pull it all out. I don't think I need to tell any of y'all this. It's just more of a heads up that it's coming. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.